Why doesn't that sit flush? No. Not again! What's going on, guys? My name is Kurt. Welcome to another episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive. And I think we're starting to see a pattern here. It's another episode of Let's Fix My Porsche. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to replace a broken door lever on your Porsche. As you can see in that intro, basically the door lever doesn't sit flush, and because it doesn't sit flush, when you touch it, it does the old like up and down, because this is a frameless door, and so the window has to go down to open the door. So it's kind of broken. Apparently this is a common thing for 911s, go figure, and there's a lever back here that we will be replacing. So once again, thank you to Suncoast Parts for providing our parts to fix my Porsche. This is basically the lever that sits behind there that is broken, and we will obviously get to that more in detail when we get there. But basically, this is a new one, and surprisingly, they're not that expensive. Everything with a Porsche seems to be pretty expensive. It was like 30 bucks or something like that. Now, this is the lever that we're gonna be replacing, but they also supply a cable. I think it's like an updated cable of some sort that we may or may not have to install. I'm hoping that I don't, because it's a lot more involved and you have to go like deep in the door skin to replace this cable. So I'm hoping I don't have to do that, and I've seen some people say that they've used the old cable with this lever. I guess we're gonna find out. So let's dive in, and I'll show you guys how to remove this door panel to get us access to the new lever. Before we go any further, let me quickly cover the tools that you're gonna need. Not much for this job, but one thing that will make your life way easier and will not ruin your car is getting something like this, a interior trim removal kit. And I'll put a link to this stuff in the description. This is one I bought off Amazon, but it comes in super handy for getting just like certain body panels off, or interior body panels off, and without messing them up. So I'll put a link to the description of those. And then the only other thing you're gonna need for this is a T20 and T30 Torx bit. That is basically like all the Porsches, everything in the interior is basically Torx. So if you have a Porsche, you might as well just buy a Torx kit, just because you're gonna need it. Before we can get to the Torx fasteners that are actually holding this on, there's a couple trim pieces that are in the way of us getting to them. So we need to remove them first. The first thing that we're gonna start with is over here, the side mirror trim piece. Super easy, as you can see there. Just jam the trim piece thing in there. And then over here, there's a plug that you simply unplug. That piece is out. Now we can move on to this trim piece down here, which is pretty easy to remove. Once again, just get your pry tool, and that pops out. Probably be a good idea to catch it instead of letting it fall on the ground. Now, this is actually something I learned. I didn't even know that this opened. Like, before I looked into this procedure, I didn't even know this opened. So kind of hilarious, right? Anyway, open this little armrest, and now you can pop up. There's two clips in here. Just slide your tool in the side, slide your tool in here, and this kind of rotates, and you can pull out this trim piece. And then the last one is just on the edge of the door right here. Take your trim removal tool and just gently pry that guy out. Just a little press fit clip. So that's another trim piece. Now we're pretty much all exposed. We can start with the door handle. Now to remove the door handle, this is sort of resistant fit on in this direction, but there's also a T20 fastener that holds it in place so it doesn't come out. So just get your T20 Torx bit, come behind the door lever and loosen that up. Set that fastener aside. And now we can remove this lever. Just resistant fit on there, like I said, so just yank it out. Okay, now the last trim piece that we have left to expose is this, there's a little circle here and you just press down on the bottom and it pops out and goes somewhere. Now that everything is exposed, we can get our T30 Torx bit and just start removing the 5 different fasteners on the door card. There's one up here by the side mirrors. There's one that's hiding behind the door handle. There's one in here where we remove that trim piece. There's one way in here where we remove that trim piece by the armrest. Just kind of got to feel it. And then the last one is over here on the end. Now that we have all the fasteners out, there's a bunch of just press-in clips that go around the edge of the door panel. So really what you want to do is just jam your trim tool under here, all the way over kind of to by this light, and then just pry. But you kind of just keep going. It's quite unnatural to just yank on this stuff, but that's what you got to do. There we go. Now that all of our clips are undone and it's obviously loose here on the bottom, you just kind of got to like pick up, because this top part just sits on this ledge, and then carefully move it back and you'll see all the stuff that is connected here. We got the cable that runs to the door. We got some speakers to be unplugged and stuff like that. So you just go through and unplug those carefully. He slides that way, comes out. Little Z clip here. You just yank out. Unplug that. Unplug that. They should be separated. And now we can take this door panel or door card and go work on it outside the car. Installing your new lever is super easy once the door card is off. There are just 3 Torx fasteners that you remove. Pop this guy out, which is this little prong right here. Pop him out and then install your new one. It's really that easy. With our new lever in place, we can connect all of our connectors back up. Now we get to see if our new lever works with our old cable. So let's take this white piece here, run it up. You hear it snap into place. That thing is locked. That will hold the cable in there, and I think that will work. Our old cable will work with our new lever. With all this installed, we can finally hang the door card back on. Being careful not to tie up any of these wires. And the top of the door card just rests on the ledge. So you kind of put it on the ledge first and then try and line it up with the holes. Once you get it about right, you can start pushing those clips back in. They're a lot easier to push in than they are to take out, that's for sure. With the door card on and all your clips pressed in, you can just go back to installing those Torx fasteners just in the same order that you removed them. From there, it's just a matter of installing those trim pieces the same way you took them out. Moment of truth. Hey, the window went up. Now, I guess the real moment of truth is, can I open the door? Hey guys, and check this out, no more gap on the door handle. Well guys, that's it. It took about an hour to do of me kind of fumbling through this for my first time. Hopefully this video helps you out. It's really not too bad, and like I said earlier, the part is only like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. So really not too bad. That cable that I had, that extra cable, ended up not really needing. It's a little bit of a different design, but the current one that's like a Z works just fine, and it saves you like a ton of time from doing this job, because otherwise you would have to take up like a way more stuff. So for 25, 30 bucks, you could do this yourself. I'm sure the dealer would charge, gosh, easily $500 probably, right, for this kind of job. So do it yourself and save your money. Buy it from suncoastparts.com. That's where I got mine, and those guys are great. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive.